Hi, everybody. I just wanted to update you, and I hope you're having a fine Labor Day weekend. It's Saturday afternoon, evening about 6:30, and I'm just here to say thank you. I've had such expressions of love and support, and I don't know what I'm embarrassed, because I shouldn't need that. Real gals like Jamie, drummer girl 55, and other girls that are really struggling in a lot of ways really deserve the support, and I'm struggling against issues of love, and I feel like I've been on a tossed sea the last week or so. I never, if you'd asked me 2 months ago, do you think you would ever be where you are today? I have to say, no. The answer is no, but things take a lot of strange turns in in life, and you end up in places you never imagined, but. The real difference is how do you handle it when you get to those places? Do you try to have your cake and eat it too, and you know, float on two boats at the same time? In other words, in my case, love Bobby and then move on to Jen, and you try to hide from Bobby, and those issues, and you just know in your heart that you're going to be fighting not just a one front war with Bobby, whatever happens there, but then you have the additional complication of two people that you love dearly, that have been an integral part of your life, have had you for Thanksgiving and Christmas dinner and things like that, have sat there and broken bread with you and have known you a certain way. And then you ask them, it's almost like a mini transition, you ask them to accept you a whole new way. And as I always said when I talked about transitioning stories and things, that your transition is your family's, friends, workers' transition too. Well, your transition in love is also a transition for those around you that love you and care for you. And last night was a frantic night in my life, and I hope that I don't have a night like that again, because I kind of knew that it would be hell night, because it was the first Friday night that Bobby couldn't come over because we're really not together anymore, and yet he was texting every 2 minutes, and I didn't want to be rude, and sort of rub salt in a wound to just try to ease things. And then at the same time that's going on, the boss is kind of rampaging about which direction I'm heading in life, in my love life, and how much he can't stand trans being relationships. In other words, two transgender girls that get together. I get that. I mean, that's his preference. But I said to him, and I think it finally started to make a little bit of sense. I said, please don't define our relationship just in terms of my sexuality. Look at the other 90% of what we've done, where we've gone, things we do here in the Shine Shack, the life we live, the laughs, the good times we've had with each other. And don't let what happens behind my closed doors affect the friendship. And I said, a lot of ways, it's no different than when I went to Baltimore and wrote checks totaling $50,000 and couldn't even get a pickup or a drop off at the airport. They chose to define me, my family, simply by the money drop that the money that I could bring to bear and drop on them, and the rest of it they could give a hoot about. All they saw me for was money. The rest of it, they just knew that they couldn't stand. So none of it should be defined just in terms of the money we have, the religion that we believe in, the friends that we have, the political beliefs we have, the love interests we have. Those things are a small part of our being. I just texted the boss and Janet tonight. After today, Janet made a wonderful meal of salmon and rice, and it was great. And it was like business as usual. I was expecting the worst, like that it would be an intervention today, but they came down as sweet as ever. And look, I'm not going to say the boss is a pussycat, but at the end of the day, I think the love that those two have for me could outweigh the way they feel about my sexuality and my preferences and things. I know it's not their cup of tea, but I do know this. We've shared a lot of love over many years here, and to throw that away because of someone's sexual orientation would be a terrible thing. So I texted them tonight and told them how much I love them, how much they meant to me, and how much I always hoped that they would be a part of my life, because I could never imagine my life without them. You know, Bobby's a separate issue, and I will do everything I can to make Bobby know that he was appreciated and loved. But the situation changes in life, and as you guys know, I've dealt with a lot of distress and a lot of people that are, well, frankly, bent out of shape about the direction my love life is heading. But I can tell you this: I made a promise to you back in January when I started this channel that for better or worse, I would upload my life every day, and you would see what the life of a real transgender gal is like, living out in the world, doing all the crazy stuff and everything. But good times, bad times, terrible times, you would be with me. And the last 2 days are, without a doubt, the hardest 2 days that I've ever had being transgender. But I feel like the seas are calming now, and better times are ahead. And I owe it to you, all the great subscribers I have that sit here and just suck this in and think to themselves, you know, I'd like to either grab Rosie by her skinny, scrawny ass neck and shake her, or I'd like to draw her to my ample bosom and comfort her, or I'd just like to take her out and get a beer. You know, you guys are absolutely wonderful, and the love and support that you have for the girls is amazing. You know, being transgendered is a real scary thing sometimes. And a lot of times I cry in bed at night when I think about the future. And you know, I don't want to cry, but you never know who you'll be able to depend on. You always think about that day maybe when you're incapacitated, and you know, those that are caring for you as a non-op transgender gal may have some definite ideas and things, and may not be able to rise above their Hippocratic oaths to do no harm and things. And you always sort of worry about yourself going forward a little bit. It's a really scary ride sometimes. So I wanted to thank you for being with me. If nothing else, this channel is always kick-ass interesting. I know that. So, but I do want to thank you for everything. Yeah, I was in quite a mood in this morning's upload when I decided to kill the sound for it, but then added it back lately. It was like the last thing I need, just like the last blow today. But life isn't easy going forward, but as everybody's fond of telling my family and everybody else, it's the life that you chose for yourself. So I will stand up and take the glory and take the hits on that and just keep rolling forward. And you know, the next 2 months are just going to accelerate into, you know, either a beautiful thing or mayhem or a lot of both. But I'm hoping things settle down. And I want to thank you for being a part of my life.